everybody. Welcome in to the NBA Front Office Show. It's Friday. You know what that means.
Front Office Friday! I'm not muted edition.
I'm not muted edition. Let's go. Always a good start when we're not on mute.
Could have also gone with this. Basketball is awesome edition because basketball is awesome.
That is true.
There have been so many good games this year. I'm fired up. I am beyond fired up today. Let's go.
It's been a great start to the season. We're seeing some really competitive games. We got the NBA Cup tournament continuing tonight. Some fantastic stuff going on around the league. We're going to get into your questions, your comments. The Friday live show, it's all about you. So please make sure that you do submit those questions into the chat. Hey, Keith, where do you want to start today?
Man, we got a lot of looks like a lot of first timer with the dog apparently barking. We got a lot of people here in making their first show today, which is
welcome in.
Fun. That's great. Glad you guys are here live. So that's good. He's mad because they're pressure washing our driveway.
Oh,
he's losing his mind right now.
Yeah, that is
hey, I gotta start with a non-basketball thing though, real quick.
Yeah.
So my daughter's school had their first soccer game of the season last night. She's varsity starting goalkeeper as a sophomore. She is they played a school that they have lost to every time they've played them in the history of both programs, and they tied them last night.
Nice.
So we're excited. It's that was a good moment for the family.
Pretty cool. Good way to start out their season. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So they weren't happy because they wanted to win, but I think in bigger picture they'll get there eventually.
You'll take the draw in this case.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's do it. Let's wherever you want to go.
Let's start here. I did say we talk about NBA trade buzz, and right now it does seem like most of the trade buzz revolves around the Dallas Mavericks and what they're going to do now that Nico Harrison is out. And could they move on from Anthony Davis? Could they move on from Kyrie Irving? Could we see those things happening with this team? Klay Thompson, another name to mention as well. So let's start with the Anthony Davis front, though, because that's the one that we've already heard that the Mavs are going to work with AD in his camp over the next couple of months, figure out if they want to pursue a trade or not. What do you see going down here? Do you think it's in the best interest of the Mavs to drastically shift course and now flip Anthony Davis into another trade?
Yeah, and I flagged this one just because we don't know where he's going to get traded to. Like, that's, that would be just complete guessing at this point. There's not even, like, I don't know how much faith I put in John Wall breaking news that maybe AD wants to play in Chicago. I mean, maybe that is true, but we'll see. But why I flagged this is more for what you said, is should they trade him? And I think the answer is yes. I believe if you're Dallas, everything you do now needs to be around what's best for Cooper Flagg and then in the franchise, with Cooper Flagg being the centerpiece of it. I think the best thing to do is completely bottom out this year, get that second high caliber player in through the draft, because you're going to have a good high draft pick, and then go forward from there. Because I think anything but that is going to be kind of like, I just think you're not going to get where you want to be with this roster as currently constructed.
Yeah, agreed. I think they are going to need to make that move. And this is your one shot to do it. You control your own draft pick this year. After that, you run into this stretch where you don't.
Yeah,
and so if you're going to bottom out, if you're going to rebuild this thing around Cooper Flagg, now's your shot. Now's your shot to go get a high-level player in the draft and then build around Cooper Flagg and Darren Peterson and AJ DeMonta and whoever you're going to go get in the draft this year, in an ideal world for the Dallas Mavericks. So this is what I think the path forward for them needs to be. They do need to be careful. They don't want to go down for a prolonged period of time here where they're down for years and years, because, again, they don't control that future draft capital. But if they think they can take advantage of the slow start of the hand that they've been dealt, they should absolutely consider it, especially if Anthony Davis still has trade value. I forget where I was looking earlier today. I was looking at one of the reports about Anthony Davis potentially being on the move, but basically made the point that hey, if I'm a GM and I'm going to my owner and saying, hey, we've got the ability to trade for Anthony Davis. He's extension eligible next summer. He's going to want a big deal, and it's going to pay him probably through his age 37 season. So it's not just, do we want Anthony Davis? It's, we're going to feel the pressure to extend him. He's going to want that. Do we want to be the team that gives him that extension? And that sentiment will only grow the older Anthony Davis gets. So most likely, despite the injury issues that he's had so far this year, Anthony Davis's value is not going to improve. Now, maybe it improves from today through the middle of January if AD is healthy and awesome and all of that, but he's not going to become more valuable to a team next year or perhaps the year after that as a guy who's had, so many injury issues, despite the fact that we're seeing so many players play later on in life, and 32 is not all that old compared to some of the other guys in the NBA right now that are still going strong. But AD, with his injury history, I don't think the value is going to get better if the Mavs wait a season or two to try to move him.
Yeah, it's that injury history, right? If he was a guy you could rely on to play 65 games a year, that changes everything. But 50, 55 is probably where you're looking at. And if it's not the right 55 games, then that starts to get really messy. So I flagged a bunch of just AD related questions just so we can kind of knock them out, all in a row here. Ball says, be straight with us guys on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy will Mavs fans be about a return for AD? This is where you have to be realistic. You can't say, well, we traded Luka for him, so because you're not going to get anything like that back. So you need to be in a spot where you shouldn't be happy if they give him away, but if you get a decent return, like a couple okay draft picks and maybe like expiring salary, then I think I'd be okay with that if I'm a Mavs fan.
I think you also have to remember, for Mavs fans, it wasn't Anthony Davis for Luka. It was Anthony Davis plus Max Christie. Well, is Max Christie worth a first-round pick? He's played very well this year. Maybe that's a first-round pick value that you got there. You moved off of Maxi Kleber, who had another year under contract. I can't say, I don't know if that's first-round pick value, but maybe a heavily protected pick or whatever. There was other value to the deal. So you can't look at what the Mavs get directly for Anthony Davis if and when they trade him as, well, now it essentially equates to Luka for whatever they turn Anthony Davis into. That's not really the full context of the trade. But nonetheless, you do have to be realistic with it. It will probably sting whatever they get in return. But part of it too we have to remember, it's to put this team in a situation where you can lose a bunch of games this year and then get a potentially really good player in an attractive draft class.
Exactly. Yeah. Sam S asked, do you think AD makes sense with the Celtics? No, just what they'd have to give up to get him. And you're talking about two apron teams trading with each other, which is not impossible, but it gets tricky. This would have to be Jaylen Brown. Very likely that goes out, or some combination of two players who Boston really likes just to match the salary. So for those reasons, no, you'd be giving up too many valuable players to bring AD in. If AD made $25 million, sure, then that's a whole different story. But then he makes sense just about everywhere. And then Nick from Twitter says, AD to Philly for PG and McCain. I'm Dallas. I don't think I do that. I like McCain, but I'd rather have Anthony Davis than Paul George.
Yeah.
I don't think McCain's the difference in value there.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even seen Paul George yet this year, and I don't think I want that contract in my. Just conceptually, it goes against what you're really trying to do if you're the Mavs with an AD trade. McCain, fine, a young player, but you don't want to take on long-term big salary for an older player than Anthony Davis in this deal.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the challenge. Like somebody saying Anthony Simons and Derek White, like. I don't know. I don't think I would do both of those guys for AD, and I'd have to look at the exact numbers because Dallas can't take on more money because they're over the first apron already. It's really difficult to get there with that.
Okay, let's go here. Trey for Ja. Do the two sides just swap point guards? Which team says no?
Probably Atlanta.
Probably Atlanta.
I think
Atlanta says no.
Yeah. I think I'd rather have Trey right now, especially if I was the Grizzlies. I think I would probably do this
Yeah.
just because, like, I think it would be like, I don't know. I like Trey Young still. Like, I put a thing on Twitter today about Trey Young where I was like, this is not a the Hawks are better without Trey Young post. But I
Hmm.
think on the Hawks, I feel pretty good that we're playing okay without him. And that, like, if we get to the point where we need to go our separate ways, then I think I feel okay now that, all right, we're not going to completely fall apart. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting at least.
Speaking of which, after how awesome Jalen Johnson looked last night, are the Hawks better without Trey?
Yeah.
And does that mean Trey walks away for nothing to the Clippers, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if the Clippers had a ton of cap space this summer, which maybe they will, we'll see. That could be the direction they go. But yeah, I just don't think they're better without him. I think they're still at their best with him in the fold. But again, I think it's just now your comfort level needs to be higher. That okay, we can survive a post Trey Young era in Atlanta if we need to. And if anybody missed it, go watch Jalen Johnson against the Jazz last night. I mean, he was a monster through in every phase of the game. He was incredible last night.
Yeah, he put up 31 points, 18 rebounds, 14 assists with 7 steals.
7 steals, yeah.
That's insane.
It's a Jokic like
Yeah,
performance.
that is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump over to another team that's talking trade. Most of the Sacramento veterans, or which of the Sacramento veterans has the most trade value? Sam Amick had just a little kind of aside that there are teams that have had conversations about they'd be interested in Sabonis,
Yeah.
but he's not hearing the same on Levine. Does that surprise you at all? And is that informative of who's got more value?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think it's Sabonis. To answer the question here, I just it's the biggest contract in terms of because it adds the 94 million after this year still owed over 2 seasons. But Sabonis is a pretty good player. You got to have the right kind of team around him that you got to fit him in with. But I think he can really play. I think then it's probably Malik Monk, in my opinion, that would have the next most value just because it's a very tradable contract. He can start, he can come off the bench, he could do a lot of different things. But yeah, I don't like then you get into the other guys like Levine's just tough. I still think Zach Levine's an okay player, but man, this is depressing. They need to do something with this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to make some kind of a move here. Keith, I'm going to hand the reins over to you for just a minute. I got to go run down and get the door. I'll be right back.
All right. Flying solo. We know how well this always goes. Trevor will be right back. So yeah, it's but with the Kings, yeah, it's just kind of a rough go at the moment right now for the Kings. Sabonis for Kuminga, that doesn't work. Like they're nowhere close salary wise. The Warriors would have to make up a pretty good chunk of salary. Sabonis at 42 million. Kuminga's at 24. And again, remember the Warriors are an apron team, so they can't take back any more money. So they're gonna have to figure that out if that's the direction they want to go. Would Sabonis save the Clippers if they could get him for Collins? Again, it's got to be Collins plus quite a bit. Clippers, again, another team that's an apron team. So it gives you a little bit of a challenge there, but that I don't think he saves the Clippers by any means. I don't think that's going to happen there. Let's see. Let's go to our next one. We'll answer this one while Trevor's gone. Does our daughter do the Mutombo finger when she blocks a shot? No, she actually she didn't do anything. She plays with like very like little emotion like that. She just kind of plays. She has a thing on her goalie gloves that says next save because she had a coach who taught her you make a great save, awesome, move to the next save. You make a bad play and the ball goes in, awesome, move to the next save. Like he instilled that in her at a very young age. So where she just kind of plays. Alexander, who would you say has had the best draft class so far? For like a full class, Charlotte, without a doubt. For me, they have they've really kind of nailed their picks so far. Colin Knippel looks great. Ryan Kalkbrenner looks really good. Sion James looks really good. And then Liam McNeely, we'll see, where he goes, but there's been some moments with him. So I think, all around it's the Hornets. If you have 4 picks and 3 of them are starting for you regularly, and not only starting but playing really well, that's good. And shout out to the Kalkbrenner family who had a baby, so he's gonna miss tonight's game to be with his wife and their child. So congratulations to them. Dennis Jenkins. Yeah, Dennis Jenkins, if you guys don't know him, two-way player for the Detroit Pistons. Detroit is going through it right now with injuries. They've been without a lot of guys. They played the other night without any of their starting 5 guys. And Dennis Jenkins has been absolutely terrific for them. He's one of the better two-way finds this season. He's played really, really well. So I think, we're in a good spot with Dennis Jenkins. We'll see. I don't know that he makes it to the end of the year on a two-way contract. He could be a pretty good conversion candidate for Detroit when we get there. Aside on the Pistons, I saw this the other day. I wish I remember who it was that put this out there. But the Pistons over the last 2 years, so really good last year and then into this year, have not played a single game with their preferred starting lineup of Cunningham, Ivy, Duran, Harris, and Thompson. Have not played a single game with that group because they have been without guys, and it's Ivy who's been he was out the longest amount of time there. And when he was in the lineup last year, Thompson was not. If you remember, Asar Thompson started last season late. So, just kind of interesting that Detroit is playing this well. We'll do another Detroit question since we're talking about the Pistons a little bit. Can Detroit be a legit playoff team with how everyone is playing? Do they need to make a move for them to be an actual contender? Definitely a legit playoff team. They believe, if you talk to anybody with the Pistons, that if they had Isaiah Stewart and even someone else, and that ideally someone else would have been Jaden Ivey, that they would have beaten the Knicks in the first round. They 100% believe that. So I think they're in a position where they are, really in belief that they're good right now to be an actual contender. Yeah, they probably need to make another move. I think they still need more shooting. We'll see what happens with the Beasley stuff, if he's cleared and allowed to play or what else. So we'll see if anything comes there. But yeah, it's they're really, really good with that. Give some likes. Let's get a like spike going and get the show likes up. That really does help people find the show. It helps push it to the front pages of YouTube. So please do that. Let's see. Jackson Hayes for Neemias Queta. Would I do it? No, I would not do that from the Celtics side. I think Queta is a better player than that. The police are not at Trevor's door. He's got a repair guy who's showed up very early. So it is not the police, at least as far as I know. Maybe something shady's going on. If he never comes back, then we can assume that's what it was. Let's see. Let's go through a few more of the questions here. Where we're at. Sky Falcon says, how cooked are the Clippers? Yeah, it's not good. It does not look good. I mean, they are struggling. You guys know I say it all the time that the Western Conference, if you fall out, it's really hard to get back because you're gonna have to play really hard, really push very hard. And that's not a roster that's set up to push very hard throughout the course of the playoffs. So that's really tough there. So it's they're in rough shape. Someone from that group is gonna, I think, overtake Utah, because I do think Utah, and they're already showing signs of coming back to earth, but I think Utah will fall out, and someone that's in the non-playoff picture right now will jump in there. So maybe that's the Clippers, but I don't know that they're gonna get any higher than the play-in tournament at this point. Hello, we get some more Pistons questions. Pistons are off to a flyer, but are they contenders? We already talked about that. Would a move for either Lowry or JJJ make them serious contender? I like Jaren Jackson Jr. for them quite a bit. I think that would be a really good pickup because Jaren Jackson Jr. thinks he doesn't do well, or thinks Jalen Duren does well. They really would be a nice match, I think, together in the front court. So I wouldn't be surprised if if they went that direction, if Memphis trades him. But I think he's the guy most likely to stick in Memphis. I don't think they're going to move him. Bobroni says, what control does Detroit have over Jenkins' next contract? Can you explain the two-way deal he's on? What are their options with him? He will be a restricted free agent this summer. He's on a 2-year two-way, so he's got this summer, and then he will be restricted this summer. Assuming Detroit does that, and that gives Detroit the ability to match any contract offers he may get. We don't really see two-way guys get offer sheets. And Folly Dante got one from the Hawks, which was in a weird spot because the Rockets had him as a restricted two-way free agent, and the Rockets, because they were hard capped, wouldn't have been able to match. So the Hawks kind of stole him that way, knowing that the Rockets weren't going to waive somebody or move someone to clear room to match on him. Detroit won't be in that same position, most likely. So very likely. But I think you're going to see him sign a standard NBA contract before we get there with that. So, you guys really think Trevor's in trouble. Let's see. Keep going through the questions that are here. Will the Celtics get under the cap? No, they're not getting under the cap. They may get under the tax. We'll see. I think they're gonna get close at least. We'll see if they make another move and get under there. We'll kind of go from there. So we'll see. Faulkner Rental asks, can you talk about how Ace Bailey's been playing the last 2 games? Yeah, really starting to figure things out here. He made some really nice passes, showing up with a pretty solid defensive impact. So I was very high on Ace Bailey coming in. Been a slow start for him for sure. He was in kind of a tough spot because his minutes were almost solely being given when Markkanen was off the floor in the first handful of games. And in the last week or so, he's been playing more. He's starting now. And I think it's going to be a while before we see him not starting for the Jazz. But yeah, he's been playing pretty well, and you're starting to see the different things he can do. So which is really exciting. So I think that'll be really good. I wrote about him today in the NBA game notes on the basketball bulletin. You guys check that out. That post is free to read for everybody, so completely free and unlocked for everyone. So if you check it out and like what you see, please subscribe because that'll help us out quite a bit. Another question about the Jazz. Markkanen playing this good. Do you think the team makes an offer? Tim, see this, Trevor? I told you guys.
Sorry about that.
They thought you were in police custody. So
the repair guy. We have a broken dishwasher, and I wasn't expecting the repair guy for another hour, and then I guess he made his rounds early and was suddenly here, so I had to go take care of that.
I could have made a really on PC joke from the 1980s, and I let it pass because I have matured. Back to this question about Lauri Markkanen. The Jazz have been getting offers on him. They're just not ready to move him. They're very happy to have him. They do not want to move him. So I think they're content for now to keep him. He's very happy there. Anytime he gets asked about it, he does admit yeah, we do need to win. I do want to win. I want to compete. But he talks about how Utah is very like Finland, where he's from, and he loves it there. So yeah, we'll see where that goes from there. All right, let's go here.
Yeah, I don't know which ones you already did.
Yeah, I'm down to the one that's flagged in the thing, and then all.
You went in order.
Yeah,
okay.
I went super fast, bro.
Okay, cool, awesome. Mike Dowd said, Keith, love you, bro, but you need to update your photo of the NBA strategy stream promo.
We're catfishing. What does that mean? That still looks like me. That picture's not even that old.
Well, it tells you that people are looking at the promo, though.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah,
that's the good part.
We had a blast. That was so much fun.
That was. I was just thinking we should reach out and say, hey, we'll do another. Let's do another.
Yeah,
one.
Right. Yeah,
I think
we have another one scheduled. We'll let you guys know with that one when we.
I think we're not scheduled again till the end of December, though.
Yeah, it's a while. Yeah,
we should reach out and see if they want us to do another one sooner. Looking ahead, could we see a Luka reunion in Dallas in 2028, a la LeBron in 2015? I know circumstances were different. It would be a great story.
I
So
hope not for the Lakers' sake.
yeah, they would basically, if they started to
Yeah, I'd
get,
be
I talked about this on Lakers Nation yesterday. Like, if they started to get a sense that that was what Luka wanted, it would be the summer of 2027, because 2028 he could be potentially a free agent. They would have to trade him. I mean, the summer of 2027, they would have to trade him if they started to get a sense that that was going to be coming, or that he'd be looking to go back to Dallas. You can't lose a guy like that and allow them to just walk away. So they would have to feel pretty confident that he was going to stick around. And again, not where I expect things to go by any. I mean, he extended with the Lakers the first day he possibly could. So he does seem to be settling in there, but you never know in this crazy league. I mean, the fact that Luka's a Laker, period, tells you that you just never know what's going to happen in this league. But if Luka wanted to go back to Dallas, from the Lakers side, they would have to start looking to trade him that summer of 2027.
Yeah, absolutely. The minute you get a sense he's not re-signing, you got to move and get a huge, return for him, because he'll still be, Luka at that point. But yeah, I think we all know where this is headed. He signed the contract he signed specifically with the idea of then cashing in on the biggest possible contract when he's a free agent again.
Right.
To put it this way, if Luka is not a Laker on his next contract, that means the Lakers completely screwed up. Like, they screwed everything up and didn't build around him the right way.
He does have to hit free agency, though. It's not like they can extend him.
Sure. Yeah.
So that'll be something, it'll be kind of like it was this past summer, where, we had every indication that Luka was going to sign an extension with the Lakers, but still, until he signed it, it was like, okay, because if he doesn't sign that extension, you immediately have to start exploring the trade front. And had he not signed that extension this past summer, we talked all about it, even though we had all, every indication was that he was going to. And I think that's still where we're headed. But again, that's years away, and you just never know what's going to happen in today's NBA.
Oh, I missed one. We'll go back to this from Craig. Does the league have to add 2 teams to keep an even number, or can they expand by 1? How would that work? The last 2 times they expanded, it was by 1 team each time. So, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to do 2. All indications are that they would do 2, because having an odd number of teams just creates a bunch of different issues that, especially as the conferences get bigger, it makes it more of a challenge. So, but there's no sense expansion is zipping right along now. So we'll see. We're definitely gonna see that European League far before we see NBA expansion.
All right, let's go here. If OKC wins 74 games, is SGA the unanimous MVP?
Sure, I guess. I don't know.
It depends on how he plays and everything. Yeah. I wouldn't expect OKC to win 74 games, but
I don't know about that.
I mean, they've been great. Like, you never say never, but just in general, like,
Sure.
Does OKC at some point, do they take their foot off the gas a little bit? Do they coast a little? I mean, you look at what the Warriors did, and then they didn't win the whole thing. Like, do they look at that as, maybe a cautionary tale to a degree? But
I just think, they're already playing without so many guys. Like, Jalen Williams hasn't even played a minute yet.
It doesn't seem to matter who they've got on the court or not.
I am very curious to be like how far could they take it? Like if somebody else misses, like if SGA is out, do they just keep rolling over teams? Because it's funny, because somebody countered with, well, they haven't played anybody. Yeah, they're killing everyone. It doesn't matter. Like, if you play who you play, and if you kill the teams, it's then it is what it is. Like, they're really, really good. And I would also counter with, like, all right, so the Lakers and Rockets aren't good now.
And the Warriors blew out the Warriors too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're
so
awesome.
It feels like the Thunder, when you watch them play, the way things work out for them in a game, it feels like they're the main character with like full strength plot armor behind them in a movie or something. Like things are just falling just right for them in each game, and it's not coincidental, it's not accidental. They're making things go right, but everything, like every rotation that they need to make, they're making it's pretty remarkable the way it's all playing out for them and the way they're all coming together.
Just loaded with talent, and they clearly very much love playing together. Like, which is, that you can't discount that. Like, how much that means, especially in like the regular season.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's go here. Worst roster, the 21-22 Lakers, the just wait till Trevor Ariza returns Lakers, or the current Clippers? I mean, isn't it just the Spider-Man meme?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
the
two
same
old
idea.
teams too, counting on like older guys, which is weird because some of those Lakers are still around. But yeah,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, let's just move on. I'll have an answer.
Saw an article that Jarris Walker's trade value is declining. Would you agree with that?
I don't think his trade value is very high to begin with. We're in year 3. He is showing more. He's shown more signs and played okay, but he hasn't played very much in his first couple years. So for a guy who was picked in the top 10 to play that little, that's not great, and that's tough because he's on a team where it's like, the team ended up being a lot better than anybody thought they would be, a lot quicker. So yeah, I don't know how high his trade value was to begin with.
Let's go here. What can the Clippers get for Bogdanovich? He's a team option, so he's an expiring contract. Yeah. Would they consider trading him? I mean, they should be considering lots of things on the trade front. Yes, they should consider trading him. I don't think you're going to get a crazy positive return for him or anything like that. Not when he's dealt with injury issues, obviously coming into the season with an injury, but it could be useful for a team, sure, and it helps that he's a team option on the final year of his contract rather than just having that money locked in. So I don't think he has zero value, but I don't think teams are going to be beating down the door to go get him either.
Yeah, I don't think they will be. He's the kind of guy where if they do sell-offs at $16 million, that's basically the MLE. It's a little bit more, which is unfortunate because he doesn't fit into the MLE as a trade exception. But I do think we're in a spot where he's the kind of guy who I think a team would say, all right, we need some bench shooting and scoring. And you could go get him. And like you said, essentially expiring contract, which makes it, then it's almost a no risk acquisition, assuming you don't give up too much to get him. He can still play. Like, he's been good when he's played. I kind of don't understand some of Ty Lue's rotation decisions with some of these guys.
Yeah. And there have been some head scratchers. We'll see what ultimately happens here if the Clippers are able to pull out of this nosedive that they've been in or not. They're just old. And now this Kawhi thing is a foot thing too. And
that's got me.
That's concerning.
Why can't they just be honest about injuries? And I know part of it is him. He doesn't like them to talk about it, but like they're like, he's just got a sprained ankle. Then he's also got this foot thing we're trying to manage. Like, all right, what's next? Like, his leg fell off completely.
Yeah,
like,
I mean the reporting around the Clippers and Kawhi has always been interesting in that it really sounds like the Clippers are kind of caught in the middle. The NBA wants them to be forthright with the injury front, and Kawhi wants them to say as little as possible about anything that has to do with him. Yeah. And so they're just kind of caught in this constant like struggle in this tug of war as they're putting out information. But yeah, I wish we would just get we would get the full story on what the injury front is. This question, why did the Clippers trade Norman Powell? I think they really hoped and thought, and I don't think it's unreasonable, but they thought they were going to get at least, 80% of what Norman Powell was giving them from Bradley Beal while adding our guy, John Collins, to the team as well. I don't think it was an indefensible move or anything like that, but obviously it hasn't worked out with the injury to Beal. He's out for the year.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's the hard thing. I mean, this team, they'd already were moving away from the Harden Beal backcourt combo because I think they'd really realized, like, all right, this isn't going to work defensively. So I think they were ready to go in a different direction there. But yeah, I mean, this team is just there. This is like Dallas was really depressing because of other reasons. And then you could at least be like, well, at least they have Cooper Flag. Mm-hmm. The Clippers being this depressing is like really like just, I mean,
depressing.
Yeah, it's just awful. Like, and they got to be the most depressing team in the league.
Keith,
maybe New Orleans.
When we're talking about the NBA Cup, what is the opposite? I know when we see this in soccer as well, we have the proverbial, the group of death. What is the opposite of that?
Oh, I don't know. The group of poop,
I guess. Right.
I don't know.
I mean, when we look at the NBA Cup, because I'll tell you, I'm trying to find the groupings right now. There it is. The group B in the West, which the Lakers
Yeah, it's
are in,
bad. Yep.
has turned like it looked like okay, this could be a pretty tough group going into the year. It is the Lakers, the Clippers, the Grizzlies, the Mavs, and the Pelicans.
Yeah, if the Lakers don't win the group, they should be like, I don't know what penalty comes on them, but they should have to, I don't know, they should have to wear green jerseys for a game.
I mean, look at Group C: Houston, Denver, Golden State, Portland, San Antonio.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
and if
Lord.
you win that one, you should just get a bye to the Cup final.
Right?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Not good.
Would Zach LaVine be perfect for Detroit?
No. I don't think that's a good fit at all. I like Zach LaVine. I still think Zach LaVine can play, but that's not the player I want for the Pistons.
Where does he need to go? Because, I mean, he's doing it again, Keith. 42% from three, 52% from the field, 24 points per game. I know obviously defense matters and that's important, but like that's pretty damn hard to do.
Sure.
So where does he go and why is he? I get on his contract, but the contract doesn't have that much time left on it. Why is he so, I don't want to say negatively valued, but valued so, why is his value so low?
Yeah, I think people think, and I am not saying this, I'm giving my impression of what people think. I think people think he's like empty stats and like it's just a bunch of points and who cares? Like, but I think he's better than that. Where should he go? I mean, it would be really hard for this team. They'd have to pile a bunch of stuff together, but like I think he could really help like Milwaukee quite a bit.
Sure.
Like I think he'd be a good fit there. I don't know how they really get there. You'd have to put so many contracts together to go get them that you're really going to sap your depth. If you were them, I still sneakily think it would make them expensive. But like, is there some way he could fit in Denver? I just don't know how they would make that work.
Yeah, how do they get there?
Yeah, that's the problem.
And that's part of the issue too, is a lot of teams would have struggles getting to $47.5 million in salary.
That's it. And weird enough, considering kind of they were part of getting him to Sacramento, but could kind of fit in San Antonio. Like if they were like, we need one more guy who can put the ball in the hoop, but that's the challenge. I mean, Memphis maybe. If they were to turn it around and be like, we want to get a scorer in here because they need help with the offense. So, yeah.
I think if Zach LaVine was making 35-ish, that changes his value fairly significantly.
Big time. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Let's go here. Any buzz about Koa Pete?
Do you know who Koa Pete is?
I thought I was I had to double check and see if this was a creative character or not.
He's a college prospect.
In college, I looked it up from Gilbert, Arizona, by the way, which town I know very, very well. But yeah, I had not heard anything about Koa. But again, I have not had time to watch much, if any, college basketball at all so far this year.
Yeah, he is. He's been really good. He was. I've seen some people be like he was so underrated coming in when most people still had him as a lottery pick coming into the year. But he's now like it's very early. It's only been a few games, but there is some stuff about Koa Pete where people are like, maybe he could be in the mix for top 3 pick. I've even seen a couple suggest maybe the top overall pick. Let's get to conference play maybe at least before we get a little too over our skis on this one. But he's a good player, and he was always going to be a good player. So we'll see.
Minor news for Lakers fans in here. Adu Thero has been upgraded to probable for tonight's game. Just now happened.
Oh.
So he would make his debut.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like the Lakers can just use a couple more minutes like off the bench from somebody with all the guys still out.
The Adu debut. Excited for that. What do you think is the main reason NBA viewership went up?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this the other day, and because I saw someone said in the chat, and we didn't come back to it. I think this was last week. They said, well, of course it's up because it's more people watching around the world. Whenever you hear those things, they're only talking about US ratings. Like
Right.
it's only US based ever whenever you hear the rating stuff. They may throw in on top like our worldwide impressions are X, Y, and Z, but or they may say like league pass viewership is way up. But they're talking about ratings. I think it's twofold. One, I think the league's just really good right now. And then I think NBC in having an actual game in prime time is huge. I don't know anybody that is younger than me that watches TV in prime time anymore. And if they do, it's like they're streaming a show anyway. It's like and I know most of the people my daughter's age and like into even their early 20s, like they want to wait until like a whole season is available and then binge watch the whole thing. Like they
Yep.
don't want to, watch an episode a week of stuff. So I think it's, that helps. And I think having those games on NBC, and then related, NBC and Amazon's coverage have been awesome so far. It have been really, really good. And I think that's helping as well. And part of what helps that is they're like covering what's happening and being positive and not just crapping on everything left and right. And if you've noticed, the TNT guys are having to be a little more positive as well. They're not necessarily, dumping on stuff the way it is. This guy's saying Amazon Prime is international. I get it. And that's, again, they're probably not talking about that when they're talking about the ESPN and NBC games. Like that's what they're talking about when they talk about ratings.
Well, and I think part of it too, we're talking about the analysts being more positive about the game. The game has given them a lot of things to be positive about this year too. Like there have been some big scoring performances, some fun games, lots of cool stuff going on.
A lot of likable players right now. No,
sure.
I didn't say people binge watch
NBA games.
I mean, I do every morning.
I was going to say,
but what I was saying is like younger people don't watch TV. Like, so if they're at home on Tuesday night's been NBC night, right? So if they're home on a Tuesday night and they like basketball, they'll throw on the NBC game and watch it versus like, I can't because CBS has, I know it's not on the air anymore, but the Big Bang Theory, and I got to catch that. Like that's not, and that's how little I know about what's actually on TV right now. I think Survivor's still around, maybe. I don't know. My parents still watch that, but I have no idea.
I don't even I have no idea what time anything is on because I just set it to record it, know, and then I'll watch it and fast forward through commercials and do all that kind of stuff.
I hear you.
Okay. Should Anthony Simons be playing more?
I don't know. I think he's playing the right amount. When he's hot and he has it rolling, he plays a lot. When he's not a super helpful player and he doesn't play. So I think they're getting it right with him.
And then on a related note, do you see the Celtics making a sizable move in the season, or do you think they're planning to?
Picture's horrifying.
It is. That's going to haunt my dreams. Are they planning on writing out the season and looking at the draft?
No, I don't. They're not going to do any kind of big move to like turn things around or anything like that. Like that's not coming. I think if their big move, and I put that in quotes for those listening to this later, will be Jason Tatum coming back if he plays this season. That'll be their big move. But yeah, I think there's a chance maybe we see it's they like make a big move as far as like shedding another contract, which would be maybe Anthony Simons, Sam Hauser, somebody like that. And that's the quote unquote big move. But yeah, I think it's going to be mostly what you see is what you get. And then they do the big reset this summer, like the bigger reset.
All right.
No, I have no idea who John Pork is.
I don't either.
Guys, like we've established we're old.
We're old.
I flagged this for you because I have no idea what this means.
I was going to ask you. I have no idea what this means. I was just about to say I'm going to have to rely on you for this because I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, isn't it?
Female Doctor Doom? Is there like a Doctor Doom variant or something like that?
Maybe. Or is this a comics thing? Because if it's a comics thing, I don't know. Like, I don't know anything about it. I don't read the comics anymore, and nothing against anybody who does. I just don't have time. But yeah, I was like, isn't this Robert Downey Jr.? Every time I see on Blue Sky or Twitter, I see a trending topic related to Doomsday. I purposely don't click it. I am trying now, or Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. I'm trying to go into these movies knowing as little as I can about them. I just want to go in and enjoy them. I don't, all the spoiler stuff, I'm kind of out with it. So, it was revealed there'll be multiple variants
of Doctor Doom in the movie, one of which will be a girl.
Sure.
I mean, I don't. As far as the variants thing, I think the variants are kind of interesting. Like in the, I immediately think of the Loki TV series.
Yeah.
We got Kid Loki, we got Alligator Loki, or whatever that thing was. We got old Loki, we got the classic Loki and all that.
Yeah, and then we had Sylvie, who was
that's right,
like the main character and was Loki. So,
and I'm fine with seeing variants of characters and things like that. I'm good with that. I don't like it so much when they change characters up from the comics, like the official real version, just to change them. If it seems like, but if you're doing all the variant stuff, why not throw in a bunch of different versions of characters? It's kind of fun
they did
that
with
way.
Deadpool, right? And they had all all the different Deadpools, which felt like just a way for Ryan Reynolds to put all of his friends in the movie, which is
I think it was.
You make a movie, go ahead, go nuts with it. I don't care. It didn't detract at all for me. That movie was really good. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's go here. Could the Sixers acquire Domas Sabonis?
I mean, that's a big contract. You got to sell the Kings on Embiid or Paul George probably, and I don't know that that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, that's again where we get to the salary level. It's tough to get to that level in a trade.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard thing for a team like Philly. Like if once you're up over the apron, again, you're having to send out a lot of money if you want to do that.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you see the theory Tony Stark will be a Doctor Doom variant? I mean, that makes sense to me.
I kind of want to get away from the
multiverse stuff.
Yeah. Let's just get back to
it takes away the stakes, right? Like, because if like the beginning, which either way, I feel like Multiverse of Madness is like one of the underrated Marvel movies. That it's one of those ones that I found myself going back and watching. I haven't had time to watch any of that stuff in months now, but it's one of the ones I keep going back to. And like variant Doctor Strange immediately dies in the beginning. Sorry, spoiler alert there. Defender Strange dies at the very beginning. But did it mean anything? No, not really. Like it meant something, I guess, for the overall story, but it doesn't matter that much because there's an infinite number of him out there. And when you have that, the stakes are just immediately lowered. Like, oh, that character just died. Does it mean anything? No, because there's tons more of that character. I don't know. To me, when you remove the stakes like that, it becomes less interesting.
Hey, so just this has nothing to do with anything except that it's fun. One of the best things about having the trade machine on Spot Track, which selfishly and I think correctly, I'm going to say is the best trade machine because it works accurately. We have the correct salaries, correct rosters. It's all up to date and the rules work the way they're supposed to. But anyway, is we can pull data on what teams are being used the most and like what two matching teams we see the most in the trade machine. The number one trade in the last week is Dallas and the Lakers. So I'm guessing people are trying to get AD back to the Lakers somehow, or maybe Kyrie. I don't know. Maybe it's both. I mean, both would be really hard and near impossible.
I don't think they could even get AD there. Let's look at that.
Yeah, we can.
This one, rather Victor Von Doom. I think Tony Stark can still be Victor Von Doom. You could just have Von Doom be a alternate universe variant. But again, maybe that's changing things too much. Anyway, Lakers AD trade, what would be on the table? Getting their salary wise is all but impossible for the Lakers unless you want to start talking about LeBron for AD. Yeah. That's
even that doesn't work.
Yeah,
because AD makes too much money.
So just like getting their salary wise is so difficult when because you start stacking up salaries for the Lakers. Would they trade Austin Reeves? No. So Luka, no LeBron. Okay, Rui's $18 million. You got $22 million with Vando and Gabe. Would Dallas take back Vando? Probably not. Then you're talking Maxey.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you're stacking up so many salaries. Can Dallas really take back all those guys? And then what incentive does Dallas have to do that deal? And then on top of that, would the Mavericks really have their fire a general manager for a trade with the Lakers and then have the next group, Michael Finley and who's the other one who came in? Starts with an R. I don't know why I'm spacing on this.
Anyway, Matt Ricciardi.
That's it. Would they really trade with the Lakers again? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, sorry, someone distracted me with a note for that. The Clippers picks are not showing correct on Spot Track. I'll look at it. I'll take a look later. Yeah, that's the challenge, right? Getting there, matching $54 million in salary is really hard. Yeah, really, really hard. Dennis Lindsey is not there. Somebody said Dennis Lindsey. There's rumors Mark Cuban would like them to hire Dennis Lindsey, but that's nothing has happened there yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the highest used one. Next is Dallas and Golden State.
Okay.
Then Chicago and Dallas. Then we're getting into like Golden State and Sacramento. Memphis, Minnesota still holding super strong. So that's interesting as well.
All right, let's go here. Will the Pacers trade Ben Mathurin before the deadline?
Yeah, it's interesting. That probably has a good sense on where they think his restricted free agency is going to go. They don't think they're going to be able to get him back on a reasonable contract, or if they get the sense of like someone's coming with a big offer sheet, which he would have to get healthy to come back than this. So to get that big offer sheet, then maybe they do look at trading him. It's a pretty when they're fully healthy. What is his role? Is it ever going to be more than being the team's sixth man? That's then what do you pay for that? That's going to be the question. So yeah, I think they could.
Yeah, I mean, again, if they decide whatever he's going to get on that next contract, if they decide they don't want to be the team to pay him that, then yeah, they could look to move on from. Now, again, it's already a bit of a lost season for the Pacers, and again, thank goodness they have their pick. So maybe there are some moves where they could sell off some talent, but they also want to be careful because they want to have a team ready when Halliburton comes back next year. So it's similar to the Celtics situation in that sense.
Yep.
And maybe we do see Tatum come back this season, but you don't want to just trade away everybody and fully tank, because then next year when your guy comes back, they're looking around saying, I want a team to go win right now with, and you're not going to have that. So I think the Pacers, can they sell off talent? Sure, but they also have to be careful that they're making the right moves with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. There's a bunch of same guys posting a bunch of stuff about G League teams should be international. It kind of defeats the purpose of how everybody wants their G League team close to them so that you could do like what the Lakers did with LeBron this week, which was send him down to practice with the G League team, because the Lakers, one, they're not even home, but they're not going to run 5-on-5 full contact practices in the middle of the season like that unless they have multiple days off in a row. So you want to get those guys down there working out with the teams. They're not going to send it internationally. They're not trying to draw, as weird as it sounds, they're not really trying to draw interest in the G League like that. It's not the purpose of it. It's almost whatever attendance they get out of it is just, that's a bonus. Like, again, and I'm not criticizing the Lakers for this. They play in their practice facility, which has it's like 1,000 seats or something. Like they pretty much play home games in front of nobody. So
it's not about packing the stands.
No, never has been. It's about player development. That's it's why what before was the G League, it was the NBA Development League.
That's the D League.
About. Yep.
All right. For both of you, how many miles would you run if every 10 miles your team won a championship starting this year? So 10 miles you win this year, 20 miles you win the next 2 years. Like, how long do I have to do this?
Yeah, exactly. Can I run like question. A mile a day?
Right.
To get there, or do I have to run like 10 consecutive miles?
Exactly.
I mean, that would be, if you would guarantee me, that'd be my motivation, I guess, to get up to running 10. I couldn't run 10 consecutive miles right now.
Back in high school, I ran cross country. And when I started, and I only did it 1 year, but when I started it, being a soccer player growing up, I didn't think I'd be able to run as far as they were telling me we were going to run. and then I was able to do it. I was stronger than I thought, and that was really cool. But man, I think the most I ever ran in a day was 9 miles for cross country. I'm sure there were days where I played multiple soccer games or something and wound up combined running, some crazy amount. But the most I ever ran consecutively was 9 miles in a practice session. I'm assuming, because if you asked me to run 10 miles in a day right now, I'd wind up injured somehow. I wouldn't be able to make the full 10 miles.
I'd wind up dead.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
All right, let's go here.
Oh, I like this one. Oh, God.
Would Chicago do a trade with the Mavs for AD? If so, what would that look like?
Yeah, I played around with that a little bit this morning after reading that report about it. You start with Vucevic, right? Because it's an expiring contract. So you start there, throw in
Zach Collins.
You could get there with just expiring money, I think. Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter. That should get you just about there, right? So, then you take back AD and whatever else the Mavs wanted. You got to take Caleb Martin too. Okay, sure. Like
if you're the Mavs, are you okay just getting expiring money back and saying we clear up future salary though?
Yeah, I mean, I want like a draft pick or two as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, or if I'd be like, can I get Kobe White? Because then I'd really be. Now you're talking, right? You give me Vooch, Collins, and Kobe White, and or Vooch. I don't know. Get Kobe White, nice, and you back a couple other guys there. Like, yeah, then we're getting somewhere with this. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they can get there for sure.
Mike Wolf throws this out. I'm sorry. I'm totally stuck on this running thing now. said every man should be able to run at least 5 miles without stopping.
What if you have no legs, Mike Wolf?
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, Lieutenant Dan would struggle with it for sure. But get into your 40s, man. There's some days where it's like, man, you just don't have it. And you can't make that kind of a run. It's not so much. It's even the cardio side of it would be hard now. 10, 15 years ago, I would run all the time. I would regularly run. I'd run around Lake Mission Viejo with some buddies, and that's over 3 miles, and I would handle that no problem. But now it's like, your ankle's going to start hurting, or your calf or your knee is going to, you know what I mean? Like, you just start where it's just the way it goes. It sucks, but it's the way it goes.
This guy says AD's going back to LA. He just bought a huge crib out there. Newsflash, half of the NBA lives in Los Angeles.
Yep.
In the off season. Like, that's just how it is. Half lives there, half lives in half lives there, and then out of what's rest is divvied up between Miami, Las Vegas, and then wherever their actual, like, some stay in where their team is all year, and then some wherever like actual home is. But yeah, half the league lives in LA.
Do you think you would want, if you were an NBA player, dream a dream for a moment, do you think you would want to live somewhere out of your market during the off season to like get a break from that market? I guess it would depend on where you were originally from, but what would you do?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends, right? It's at least the NBA off season's in the summer. So it's like kind of nice, in the summer everywhere. So you're not really worried about the weather side of it. I don't know. I'd have a nice house somewhere else for sure. That definitely would have that.
Go live in the Bahamas or something in the off season.
I'm more of a mountains guy than a beach guy. Yeah, I don't like the beach. I don't like sand.
That's fair.
Yeah, I really don't like the beach.
Okay,
plus, I get on the beach and then they're like, "Oh, look, a whale! Put a harpoon in them," and that's not good. So I gotta be careful.
That went dark real fast.
Hey, D-Rock checking in. Whew, he's got a lot to say.
So you're gonna find Keith in Aspen, where the women flock like the salmon in Capistrano.
Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go to San Antonio and bark those big women. I'm happy with any big women.
D-Rock says Claxton can play power forward next to a bigger center capable of spacing the floor. How many bigger centers are capable of spacing the floor? That's a small list.
Pretty limited list.
Allow him to switch and delegates guarding bigger centers to someone else. He'll actually get his potential when he leaves the Nets. Fire Marks. it's not fun when you're in this phase of a rebuild.
Yeah.
It's that's tough. I get it.
You draft 5 guys too, and 3 of them are in the G League. That's not good. Like
No.
I don't like that. Like that part's tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give the Nets until like the trade deadline, and then let's reevaluate. And if we're not switching to playing the 5 guys they drafted a lot of minutes by then, that's not good.
Yeah, agreed.
Claxton and Jai reunite? When were Claxton and Jai ever together? They never played together.
Am I forgetting something?
No, they didn't play together in college either. Right? Claxton went to Georgia and Jai went to Morehead State, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
We got really thrown off there.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday in Houston would be a perfect fit, sure, but too expensive. How are you going to get him? I mean, I'd have to be Fred VanVleet plus. So, yeah, here, Giannis lives in a different country from Milwaukee in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
The only direct flight from Newark, New Jersey to Athens daily. Mavs should prioritize cap space, sure.
Murray State?
Murray State. Sorry. Yeah, Murray State. That's right. That is right.
If you could put a point guard PG. Does that mean Paul George? If you could put Paul George with Giannis, would you? If he could just shoot, he could be like Middleton.
Sure. I don't hate that idea. It's just, again, it's the big contract. Like, that's probably the issue of getting there. But fit-wise, sure. I think that's a good idea.
You would have to have some confidence that Paul George could be relatively healthy if you're the Bucks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I think that's a pretty good fit. I like how they start doing the super chats at the end. Like let's not let the show end. What's
we
the
dealt
next
with that yesterday on Lakers Collective.
Oh, yeah.
We did that.
Just like firing in super chats.
Yeah,
it's hard, right? What's the next League Pass game you two are doing? It's at the end of December. It's Well, wait, I don't want to get in trouble. And I don't know if we're not allowed to talk about it yet.
Right. Yeah. But it was like the end of December we were looking at doing. But like I said, we should do some more. That was fun.
Yeah. It was a blast, man. It was so much fun, and I really appreciate so many people hanging out. We got to get more people putting in questions through the that's a little different because it's not this setup here.
Right.
But you got to use on social media. You use the hashtag NBA strategy stream. It'll go and check out the other strategy streams too. There's a lot of good ones that people do. I like when Nekias Duncan and Steve Jones do it because like I learn a lot about like sets and things like that from them because that's not where I'm like super strong.
That's something I'm trying to get actively better at this season. I often will, like with the Lakers games, I will watch it the next day and do a much better job picking out, okay, this is what they're trying to accomplish on this play. This is what they're doing here, because I'm doing the play-by-play during the game, and it's more difficult. It's also just it's a real skill to be able to watch it live as it's happening and call out everything that's going on and know what is happening out there on the floor. When I rewatch it, I can get stuff. Getting it live is I'm trying to get better at that in terms of what's being accomplished on each play, defensively, offensively, all of that.
There it is. John Clayton played AAU together.
Oh, right. Did not know that.
Good to know. Okay. And then we'll just do this one. This will be the last one. There's a 50-game limit on two-way guys. Can they be converted mid-season? Yeah, they can be converted all the way up to the end of the season. You can't replace them after the middle of March is the deadline to sign guys, but you can convert them all the way up to the end of the year. And it's a 50-game active limit too. I see this get confused a lot because I had tweeted about some guys are already well up into the double figures, and people were like, "No, this guy. I just looked; he's only played. It's active games, so you got to actually go through. I do it every day, so like it's not a big deal for me to stay on top of it. But if you really want to check, you got to go and look. One of the easiest ways to check if a player is active versus inactive, if you go to their game log on Basketball Reference and it says inactive, That means they were inactive. It says did not play. They were on the active roster for the game, but just did not play.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously if they played, that counts too. But yeah, so it's 50 games played. In the 90 game rule too, because people keep getting confused by this, it is not 30 each. It is 90 total games. So you could play one guy 50 games or put him on the active roster 50 games. Then you have 40 to split between the other two-way spots. Right. That's only while you have less than 15 players signed to your active roster. So it doesn't usually end up mattering because most teams fill out their roster by the time we get to just after the trade deadline anyway.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, I think that's everything. Well, we've got a big.
You didn't go to jail. That's good. So they were worried about you. They thought you were in police custody.
No, that did not happen. So. That did not happen.
Or you broke out, and this is how you're finishing the show.
That's right. That's right. I came back. I was able to dig a tunnel. I hid it behind a poster, and I tunneled my way out, and here I am.
3 football fields full of crap.
That's right. But I made it. I
haven't seen that movie in a while. I used to watch that movie all the time. I'm gonna have to catch that again at some point. It's been a long time.
It's a classic.
We're on the wrong sides.
Trev's on the run today, dedicated.
I love it.
All right, everybody. We appreciate all of you. We've got some big NBA Cup games tonight, some exciting stuff going on. We'll see if anything else crazy happens over the weekend, but most likely we will catch you back here on Monday. Till then, everybody, see ya and stay safe.